Man, you guys are in for a real treat. Your next comedian is a good friend of mine, very funny joke writer. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for David Fisher!
That's right. I'm David. These are my jokes. I'm not antisocial. I just act that way around other people. To me, other people are like sex, in that I enjoy them more without any. I screwed that joke up. You didn't notice. My philosophy on sex is that you'll have more sex if you don't talk about philosophy. At the place where I work, I was working the front register, and someone came up and bought 2 packs of note cards, and the total came to $3.14. I said, "Your total is pie." He said, "What?" I said, "You're gonna need more note cards." The next person in line, her total, I should say, came to $4.96. And like, $4.96, that's my favorite number. She was like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because it's equal to the sum of its factors." And she was like, "Oh." The girl after her total came to $4.22, and she's like, "Well, that's 2 away from my favorite number." And I said, "What's so special about 424? And she was like, "Oh." It's a cruel irony that the more you like math, the less likely you are to multiply. When Sheryl Crow was married to Lance Armstrong, did she refer to him as the old ball and chain? Fucking Sarah Palin. Speaking of the Amish, I just got back from Minnesota. The weirdest thing about taking a bus to Madison from Minnesota is how many Amish people there are. The weirdest thing about the Amish people on this bus was that one of the old guys had a giant grill sticking straight out of the back of his head. And I could tell everybody in front of me was looking at it because I could see them all subconsciously touching the back of their head as soon as they noticed. And I could tell everybody behind me on the bus noticed because one of them shouted, "Motherfucker, you been trying to cover that shit up." I realized today, if you get to be my age and you're still eating Lucky Charms, they haven't worked. The word gentlemanly refers to a certain set of behaviors that a young gentleman, such as your should employ when in the company of a young lady whose vagina he wants to destroy. If you want to get all up in that shit and tear that shit the fuck up, you gotta play it classy. I'd like to talk to you now about one of my heroes, Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck was in a movie called Mr. Baseball back in the early 90s, where he plays a guy who plays baseball. And he goes over to Japan, and he plays Japanese baseball, and there's wacky cultural misunderstandings. There's a romantic subplot with a Japanese actress. And when Japanese audiences saw the love scenes between the two, they were so horrified, utterly, at the sight of this hairy man-ape pawing at her that it just ruined her entirely for them. Like, she never worked in film again, ever. Tom Selleck raped her career to death. This begs the question, is there any way we can get Tom Selleck to fuck Sarah Palin? Those were my jokes. Have a good night.